And up next, we got the co-main event: Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis. And I'm really excited for this fight, man. I've been looking forward to this fight. This fight and the main event are two of the best fights UFC has had booked in a long time, if you ask me. And great matchup here. I mean, we got the old guard versus the new guard with Dustin Poirier taking on a guy that's streaking, coming up in the rankings, undefeated at lightweight, and has been killing everyone that he's fought, but taking a huge step up here. I mean, he's going from Matt Frivola to Dustin Poirier. I mean, to me, that's like extremely big step up. I mean, you're going from a fringe top 15 guy to one of the best lightweights of all time. So it's a chance for Benoit Saint Denis to really make a name for himself, to get on the map and become an instant title contender. There hasn't been a lot of movement at 155. Like, the main guys at the top have been at the top for a long time, and they've been kind of fighting each other in these title fights, and there hasn't been a lot of chance for new blood to break in. But Benoit Saint Denis is getting that chance. He's going to get that chance to kind of jumpstart the division a little bit, get a new face up there in the top three, top five if he can win. And Dustin Poirier is trying to say not so fast. You know, I still got a couple more fights in me. I know I lost my last fight to Justin Gaethje, but before that I was making my title run. I was beating Gaethje in that fight before I got caught, and I'm still not going anywhere. And I think that it's a statement in itself that Dustin Poirier accepted this fight with Benoit Saint Denis. I don't think Dustin Poirier is the type of guy that's going to shortchange fans and the UFC on effort. I don't think he's going to shortchange them on having a piss poor camp. I just don't think he's that type of guy. The guy is someone that puts his heart and soul into this fighting, and I feel as if he signs his name on the dotted line to fight a guy like Benoit Saint Denis, he's going to go in there and he's going to be at 100% and trying as hard as he can to get the win. Because I see that this narrative, like Dustin's taking this as a paycheck or he's on the way out, and I just personally don't agree with that. But stylistically, I mean, it's an awesome matchup. Both guys have a chance to win. I do think it's going to be a bigger adjustment for Benoit Saint Denis than Dustin Poirier by a lot, though, because Benoit Saint Denis, at least from my knowledge, hasn't fought any southpaw guys. He's fought all orthodox fighters. I know Nicholas Stoltze was switching stances a little bit, but even that fight, it was mostly a wrestling fight. And we've never really seen how effective Benoit Saint Denis is in that southpaw versus southpaw stance, because when you look at him fight orthodox fighters, his main weapon and what he's really predominantly won the majority of his fights with outside of his wrestling and grappling is that left kick, the left kick to the body, the left kick to the legs or to the head. We saw the head kick on Matt Frivola. We saw him just spam that body kick on all of his opponents pretty much. And with this southpaw versus southpaw stance, that's not going to be available. I mean, Saint Denis is going to have to probably wrestle a lot harder and a lot more frequently and not strike as much and probably not have as much offense on the feet, because I just don't see him boxing with Dustin Poirier going good. I mean, he could clip him. The guy has crazy heart and he's going to be throwing bombs. So Poirier has to be very aware that Saint Denis has that power. But I think taking away his kicking game is a big factor in the fight that none of the people are talking about. I don't think that his kicks are going to be super available outside of leg kicks. And I think Dustin Poirier is the better, and he's been more proven at being good at landing calf kicks on that southpaw versus southpaw in that southpaw versus southpaw matchup. I mean, I think that Dustin could get ahead with leg kicks and really bust up Saint Denis' legs. And I think the boxing, there's going to be a huge skill disparity favoring Dustin Poirier. I feel like he's going to be able to land counters. I think he's going to be able to land clean in the pocket. Saint Denis has bad defense, very limited head movement, and I don't think his hands are really that good. So ultimately, I think if Poirier keeps this one on the feet, he's going to win this one via knockout, either in the first or the second round. I think he's going to be able to get Saint Denis out of there if it stays a striking fight. But for Saint Denis, what he wants to do is he wants to mix it up. He wants to be able to back up Poirier with that crazy pressure and wild striking, and then get it on the legs, take him down, try to get into a dominant position and submit Poirier or get Poirier tired and then beat him up. And This fight being 5 rounds, I think, is also a pretty significant factor. And I see a lot of people talking about Poirier's gas tank, but I think Benoit St. Denis' gas tank also needs monitoring. I mean, the guy has finished all his UFC fights pretty quickly within the first 2 rounds that he's won. And his fight with Zaleski, I know he took crazy damage. I know it was at 170. I know it was on short notice, but definitely gassed in that fight. And then he's only been in the 3rd round one other time. I mean, this fight's going to be 5 rounds. If this gets to the 4th round, the 5th round, is Saint Denis going to have that same cardio and ability to fight in those rounds that we've seen Poirier prove that he has? We don't really know. I mean, it could be a Shamil Ghasayev situation. But I do think if Saint Denis could get the grappling going in the early rounds, he's probably going to take over, snowball, and probably eventually finish the fight. So it's really, really pivotal for Poirier to defend the early grappling and show that this is going to have to be a stand-up fight. And if Poirier can do that, I think he's going to win by knockout. So when I'm looking at these odds of the line and just the resume of these guys, I get that Poirier, he's coming off a knockout loss. He's older, and Benoit St. Denis has been looking like a killer running up the rankings. But I'm going to go with Dustin Poirier, and I'm going to predict him to win the first or second round and knockout in this one. I just think it's too big of a step up for St. Denis too fast. I don't think you can go from fighting Thiago Moises and Joel Alvarez to fighting Dustin Poirier. I feel like it's too crazy of a jump, and I think Poirier, he's been training with Mateus Gamrot for this fight, and I feel like he's going to have his wrestling on point due to that, and I just think Dustin's not done yet. So give me Poirier to win this one. I think he's going to win via first or second round KO.